Welcome to the Know Before You Go Travel Show, where we share all the latest travel tips, tricks, and insights to make your next vacation the best one yet. So sit back, relax, grab a cocktail, and enjoy the show with Penyak Travel's George Penyak and our senior travel consultant, Janet Penyak.
What is up, everybody?
Hey, everyone.
Welcome back to another edition of the Know Before You Go Travel Show, and we've got a show for you today, and it's time for some travel news.
Yes.
We haven't done a travel news one in a while.
We haven't done one, in a few weeks, and a lot has happened.
And it's been a busy week. We only, this is episode 101. It's our second one into the triple digits.
Yes.
We're going to get to 200, then 300, then 400, then 1,000.
We're going to keep on going.
And I feel fat off some leftover Halloween candy.
Yeah.
I feel like many Americans out there, you buy a bunch of candy, you give it out, and you're always disappointed with how much is left. And when you have that much left, you just constantly graze.
We didn't have too much left.
You know why? Because I grazed on it so hard.
Well, there you go.
It was
That's
gone
good.
within a week. Like, literally, I just can't stand having Halloween candy left over. Yeah. I can't stand it because you're going to eat it.
Well, hopefully everyone had a great Halloween.
Yeah, hopefully you did. Hopefully the kids had fun trick-or-treating and it was all done safely and all that good jazz. And we are here for your vacation, for your earbuds.
It's a few days after the election.
Yeah, thank God. I think everyone's glad on both sides of the aisle that this one it's just about over. But, you got, a lot of votes to be counted. It's a mess. I think everyone knew this was going to be a mess. Like, yeah. I just think there was no good way to count this stuff. I just knew this is going to be a mess. So anyways, without further ado, though, we do have some shout-outs to give.
Yeah.
So let me give the shout-outs here. Sunny in Denver hit us up, and they're booking a trip for Mexico over Thanksgiving. Thank you, Sunny. Kim in Austin, Texas. I love Austin. One of the best cities in Dallas, or not in Dallas, in Texas, I think. Puerto Vallarta over New Year's, so we're booking a lot of holiday travel.
Yep. I think a lot of people are deciding they need to get out of Dodge for the holidays. So,
and I don't blame you. And then Kathy from South Carolina hit us up.
Another holiday trip.
Booked St. Lucia over Christmas. So, by the way, thank you guys so much if you're a listener and you've reached out to us for a trip, because we're not the biggest travel agency out there in the world, but we're trying to get there, and we really appreciate the support and each booking and just each outreach that we get from our listeners just means so much. Each little DM and question of the day that's submitted and all that good stuff, it means a lot. And thank you guys so much, especially those that inquire about a trip from us. Because again, we're a free service. We don't charge.
We are free. And
we actually are just as much as you would probably pay online. So you get our service for free.
That, or we can save you money, and then we do all
the payment plans.
Yeah, we have payment plans, and we do all the legwork for you. If you need to make any changes, you don't have to sit on hold. That's what we do.
That is exactly what we do. All right. Well, without further ado, let's roll into some travel news here, because it's been a little while since we've done travel news. It was a really busy week for Penyak Travel. We were just really busy this week.
Yep.
We are editing our first video, so if you're wondering where the video is for our episode 100 that we just did on YouTube, we're still getting the editing done. So it's our first one. I will get better at this. We have the right people hired to handle this now, so we should have that uploaded probably by the end of this coming up week, and then I think we'll start getting better at the video thing. This one will probably just be audio.
Yeah.
But we're gonna get better because the studio set up, lighting, and the whole jazz. So we want to take this show to the world.
There we go.
Video wise,
yeah.
Everyone wants to see what we look like.
There, yeah, I guess so.
I think you can see in all the videos we have already. So, anyways, a lot of stuff to cover. Where do we start? I don't even know where to start.
I was going to say start with the good, positive news for TSA.
Yeah, so I mentioned this on our last podcast. I got the official numbers here. So for the first time during the pandemic, or since the pandemic started, TSA screened travelers nationally in America surpassed the 1 million mark, which hasn't been passed since pre-pandemic. And so on October 18th, TSA screened 1.031 million passengers, which is great. Now, it's still down for comparative reasons. October 18th, 2019, they screened 2.6 million.
Bro,
so
wow. We're
still down a little bit, but it's a big number. We're getting closer to probably...
I think that's a great positive sign.
It is. We're getting closer to almost 50% or so of what we were doing last year. And what's funny is that might parlay right into one of our news stories, because there are certain destinations their bookings are actually up from this time last year, which is crazy, but I think people are feeling a little more comfortable traveling. We've talked about how we feel these destinations are doing a great job with the safety measures, and I'm not that surprised that we have some destinations that are actually booking more people this year, right now, or during the pandemic, than they did the same time last year.
Yeah, so according to Travel Pulse, Mexico tops the list for the most international fly-to destinations. So people that are flying there, it tops the list. And then their hotel bookings are actually up 11% from 2019 Thanksgiving period.
Yeah, so we're looking at bookings coming up for the Thanksgiving holiday, and a lot of people do like to get away. We've mentioned it a lot in previous podcasts that, some, especially in 2020, instead of traveling home for Thanksgiving, if you have to travel home somewhere, maybe take the family on a vacation. I think literally every American needs a vacation.
Well, and usually when, pricing over Thanksgiving and
really
Christmas
high.
is very, very high, it's a lot better right now. And so it's a great time to get away, over the holidays, and you can do it at, a less expensive cost. So
Absolutely, because you're right. Traditionally, every year, contrary to popular belief, prices are very high during the holidays. I think a lot of people that don't travel much think that, it's cheap because no one wants to go. It's actually the opposite. A lot of people want to get away, so prices are very, very, very high. Right now, prices are actually really good for the holidays. So if you've thought about taking the family on a trip, now's the time to do it. If you've never done the getaway during Thanksgiving or getaway during Christmas because of cost, now's the time to look at it.
Right. And the trip that I just booked for St. Lucia for Kathy from South Carolina, if the flights, and this is over Christmas, were only $553, and to upgrade to first class, it was only $300 more. And that is insanely cheap for Christmas travel. I have never seen ticket prices that low.
That is insane.
During over Christmas. That's just crazy.
Yeah. And I think now that more people, we've kind of learned to live in this and exist in this pandemic, and I think more people are comfortable because, people have gone shopping, you've gone out, you've done things. Most people have dined out and most people have gone shopping. And when you travel, it's not that different because, even the technology that's in the airplanes now to keep everything clean and the air filtration that they use, it's honestly no different than going to your local grocery store, I feel, in my opinion, Yeah,
and they did come out and say that the possibility of getting COVID on an airplane is actually very low. There was, I think, the CDC or someone came out and said that. So that's some positive news. And we have flown several times since all of this started, and we have been fine.
Yeah, we have.
Neither one of us have had the COVID.
Yeah, we haven't contracted it. And, here's the deal. Here's how I look at it. When you're traveling internationally, and this is something I think not enough people are talking about. When you're traveling internationally, so let's just say you want to go to, we'll take Mexico out. We'll take St. Lucia, for example, where you do need a negative COVID test, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Within 7 days.
So that flight to St. Lucia, everyone on that flight has to have a negative COVID test from the last 72 hours.
Right.
So you factor that in where I think more people are nervous about the flight than they are actually the destination. So you go to a destination like St. Lucia, which just about has no cases right now. And you're going on the flight, and it's like, well, I don't want to be enclosed with all those people. Well, everyone's going to St. Lucia from the United States. They have to have a negative test.
Right.
You have to have documentation of that. So you kind of rest easy that it really slims the odds, right? So you feel safe. It makes me feel safe.
It definitely makes me feel safer too. Now, also a lot of people are inquiring about domestic destinations, and because I totally understand if people don't feel comfortable with traveling internationally right now, but the top domestic fly-to destinations for the U.S. are Las Vegas, which who doesn't love Las Vegas, and Denver.
Denver made the list. That's interesting.
Denver made the list. And
we just had friends baby moon in Denver.
Yeah.
It is it's a really nice destination and it's real central. It is West Coast a little bit, I guess you can call it, but it is not that bad of a flight from just about anywhere. You're pretty central.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Now, those destinations beat out New York City, which is typically a big holiday destination, because you have like the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, and then everybody wants to go see and experience Christmas in New York. But travel to New York City is down 85% over Thanksgiving.
Wow. That does not surprise me. I feel bad for the residents and businesses of New York City because I just don't know how when you lose that much business, I mean, your infrastructure is built for massive tourism. You have businesses and people that their livelihoods, kind of thrive off the people that travel to New York. It's it's an international destination.
Right.
And it's like when you hear numbers like that, it's like, oh man. And now I don't know what they're saying. The Macy's Day Parade is going to be a lot different this year. Obviously, they're reimagining what the Macy's Day Parade is going to be like.
Is it?
Well, they're not being clear. I read an article this morning on it. They're not really giving the They said some will be virtual, some will be in person, some will be separate. Like there'll be separation. I don't know. I have no idea.
What do they just make like fake floats and like
I have no idea.
Computerize it? I don't know.
No clue.
That'll be interesting.
Yeah, it definitely won't. It'll lose a little bit of the excitement of it, I think. But I don't know. Let's get this vaccine out there, and let's get
back to
normal. I think. And if you want to get away, call Penyak Travel. We can get away because we're getting away here soon too. We're going back to Mexico.
Yep, I think we've said that on the last few episodes.
And I can't wait. Oh my God, I love Mexico.
We are excited. So
a little excited.
Yes. Now, in other great news, the CDC did let the no sail order on cruises from the U.S. expire. So that expired on October 31st. Now, the major cruise lines have canceled all sailings through the end of the year, but that is a very big step towards getting cruises started again. And they have kind of put in place like what the cruise lines need to do in order to get sailing again. And one of those is to do mock cruises. And so they're actually taking volunteers for these test cruises. Now,
and guess who volunteered for it?
Yes, we have volunteered for it.
We will be your guinea pigs.
Yes, we've said that. We will be your guinea pigs.
Document every moment of it.
Yeah, so we have volunteered for it. I don't have any more details on it yet, and I still have not heard how like regular consumers can volunteer for it. But if I do get that information, then I will let you guys know.
Yeah, for sure. If it's something that I know it's open to travel professionals. If it's open to consumers, we'll definitely do an update on it for sure, because that would be really cool. And I think there are some consumers that'd be willing to go. And I mean, I got to imagine that it's going to be squeaky clean to a T.
Yeah, and there's
what I mean?
Yeah, and there's like no dates or like anything official announced on it. It's all still in the works, but that is, what I'm hearing, and it would be to Royal Caribbean's private island Coco Cay.
Yeah, it's something to keep on the radar. And by the way, if you're a travel professional, I got to mention this too, because I know we have a lot of travel professionals and travel agents that listen to our show. If you're interested or thinking about making a move, we would love to talk to you. Like, feel free, because we're growing. Our team is expanding by the week and the month now, and we're adding agents. So we're open to more agents. And if you're experienced and you're looking to make a change, you might not be that happy with your current agency, feel free to hit us up.
Yes,
We'd love to talk to you.
We are.
You can go on the test cruise with us.
There you go. So in other good news, just talking about tourism restarting, St. Kitts and Nevis, which are in the Caribbean, they opened for international travelers last week. Negative PCR COVID tests taken within 72 hours of arrival, and you are also supposed to take an exit test. So
Really?
Yes.
That's pretty interesting.
Yes.
That's the first I've heard of that.
That is the first I've heard of that.
So I wonder, I guess if you test positive on the way out, they're not going to let you leave, or maybe you have to leave.
I don't know. It says that there's actually, which in typical Caribbean fashion, there's no protocols for what happens if you actually do test positive on the way out.
I mean, on the way out, I'd imagine
they haven't said, so I don't know.
I'd imagine they would probably make sure you wear a mask. They probably separate you on the flight, and they're like, "Get out of our island." I mean, I don't think they would want you to stay, right? I don't know. I mean,
I don't know.
Who knows? I don't know.
I'm not sure. And also Costa Rica just reopened for tourism from all states in the U.S. Anybody can go. Previously, there was just a list of people from certain 10 states that could go, but they have reopened to everyone, and it is not required that you have a COVID test. You just have to buy their travel insurance, which if you are traveling in the near future, I would definitely recommend, and I think I said it on our last show, to check all of the tourism websites, because a lot of these places are requiring that you have some sort of insurance when you're there. So
yeah, especially now, you're going to get a good deal on the trip itself. You might as well add the insurance, and it's just you're going to have peace of mind, and it'll, depending on the insurance that you get, the type of insurance, you'll have a lot of flexibility. So we always recommend it. If you're a longtime listener to this show, you know that travel insurance is a must. A must. Now, we get it if you don't want it. We understand. I mean, especially under normal circumstances, but definitely in this environment, you're already getting a great deal. Go ahead and spend the extra $100 or so, whatever it is, and just get that extra peace of mind, right?
Oh, yeah, because if something were to happen and you're in a destination and then you have to have some sort of medical treatment, I mean, you could end up with a very large bill that you would have to pay. So it's like, it's, in my opinion, it's not worth the risk. But
Exactly.
Now,
what else you got for us?
I was going to say, just speaking on like Costa Rica, no COVID tests needed. So George was asking this morning, where can you go right now where you don't need the COVID test? So it's still Mexico, the Dominican Republic, and then now Costa Rica. And then also kind of totally off the wall destination that I don't think have ever talked about, but you can go to Turkey.
Turkey, yeah. I mean, it's if you are looking for more exploratory travel, right now, and no COVID tests, Turkey's on the table.
Yeah.
If you want to have Turkey Day in Turkey, that was the corniest.
I was going to say, that was like the
was
cheesiest like dad joke. But you could have Turkey Day in Turkey, I guess.
I am terrible.
Yeah. But that is a destination that you can travel to, and I've actually seen like one person who is a president of a vacation company recently went there and went to Istanbul, and then I am a big fan of the Bravo shows like Real Housewives. And
yes, you are.
Yes, and one of them also recently went there on vacation. So
let's follow the Housewives.
Yeah, so just a destination. You know, if you do want something different, and
you can probably get a good rate on it too right now. The flights,
right? Oh yeah, absolutely. And you don't want to take a COVID test? Well, there you go. You can go to Turkey. So now, top selling destinations for 2021: Cancun, Cabo, and Punta Cana. I think Mexico is going to stay very high on the list for quite some time now.
Yeah, and we're going to continue to talk about it just because it's open and it is a very popular destination. I mean, it's very
affordable, especially right now. So I would highly recommend it.
To think that any travel destination right now is actually selling more than they did last year at the same point is astonishing.
Yeah, well,
it's incredible.
Their Thanksgiving bookings hotel bookings are up 11%.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
that is amazing.
That's awesome.
And I'll be honest, we've traveled, multiple destinations, both domestically and internationally, and I think Mexico's doing it the best as far as like their safety procedures,
Yes, no,
and if you want to know what those safety procedures look like, go check out our Unico video on YouTube. We just did an Unico video on our trip. It kind of documented our whole. I was going to say not just, but a few months ago. But it's a newer video on there, and it kind of documents exactly what we went through to get to Mexico, what those procedures look like, and so everything from mats down on the ground to sanitation mats for the bottom of your shoes before you enter the resort, to temperature checks, to the whole nine.
Luggage sanitation, everything.
Yeah, exactly.
And then speaking of other destinations that have opened, so the Bahamas officially opened back up for tourism, and if you have been listening to the travel news, yes, you are hearing that for like the second time, because they had reopened in July and then shut it back down a few days later, but they are open for tourism. You just have to have a test taken within 5 days, and they don't have the vacation in place order anymore. And one of the big resorts there that they just announced are reopening, Bahamas, and they are reopening on December 17th. Atlantis is not announced yet, but that's exciting that Bahamas has. Hopefully that will stick.
Yeah, we've stayed at Bahamas. We like that property. We've sent a lot of clients there. And I think the Bahamas, they were, I don't want to say late to the game, but they're just waited a little longer to open up. So I think you're going to see more of the Bahama resorts open up, and Bahamas is great. Again, Bahamas, it's like a Vegas-style resort in the Caribbean.
Yes.
It's the best way to describe it. If you like New Vegas, big, massive resorts, tons of restaurants,
and
casinos, pools. They have awesome pools. Things to do for the kids, too.
Yes.
While we were there, they were actually building their water park.
Water park, yeah.
I think that's probably completed by now. But and then, obviously, you have the beach. So you kind of get the best of both worlds. little pricier. Like the food and the drinks are a little pricier than what you would pay maybe even at like a Marriott resort or something. But you got a big casino there. It's Vegas in the Caribbean.
Yes,
or the
it
Bahamas.
definitely is. Yeah. Now, also, again, speaking on reopening, places reopening for tourism, Peru just reopened on November 1st for international tourism, and international flights up to 8 hours long are allowed into Lima, Peru from 25 cities, and that's 6 of those are in the U.S. And then also Machu Picchu, which is the big historical site there, they have officially reopened as well at 30% capacity. So you can go to Peru as well.
There we go.
Yes. Now, you need a COVID test, but it is open, so that's good.
Yeah, a lot of these places we mentioned, you're going to have the COVID test. We already gave you the list where it doesn't. Anywhere else, pretty much, you're going to have the test.
Yes.
Which is fine. I mean, we did it.
And I've actually have heard and know of several people who have traveled to destinations like Mexico that don't require tests. They still went and got tested a few days before just, to be on the cautious side. So that is something that, you can do because testing, it's for the most part, at least I know where we are. I mean, you can get it.
Very
it's
accessible.
Very accessible.
Yeah, and I think too that you can even get. I think you can get the at-home kits now. I believe you can. No, it's not good. You can't use that as your test for like if you go to a place
that requires
it. That does not work. You have to get
the
PCR test. It's very specific. You have to get the PCR test if you want to travel to destinations.
Yeah, but it cannot
require
be an at-home PCR test.
No, it's not an at-home. But if you want it for the peace of mind, I think it's
then
available
you can do that.
now.
Yeah, that's fine.
Just for the peace of mind.
Yes. Now, one of the articles that I recently came across was top countries most impacted by lack of U.S. travel, which everyone knows that, I mean, this year COVID has taken a huge hit on tourism.
It's no secret.
I mean, it's hundreds of billions of dollars, probably even more than that. But the top countries that are most impacted by the lack of U.S. travel, so Ireland, the estimated loss is $3.3 billion. India, $3.5 billion. Netherlands, $3.5 billion. Good thing we went there last year.
Holy smokes, yeah.
The Bahamas, $3.5 billion. Japan, $3.6 billion. China, $4 billion, which I would think that will probably stay that way for quite some time.
Yeah.
Germany, $5.7 billion. Spain, $5.8 billion. France, $8.1 billion loss.
Whoa.
And
Paris.
Italy,
Italy's probably taking the biggest
Italy,
hit.
$8.3 billion.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, because, just the top Europe destinations that I book for people are Italy, France, and Spain. And those top the list with the most loss.
Those are large numbers. And I know we're not trying to diminish the medical side of the pandemic. We're just commenting on the financial side. Yeah,
right.
like there's definitely we're just saying that the financial side is terrible.
Yeah.
We're not medical experts. I'm not here to comment on it. We're a travel podcast, so don't you know what I mean?
Well, once we're out of this and things go back to normal, maybe look at giving some of your tourism business to one of these destinations because they will definitely need it.
And New York's in the same boat. New York City, they're in the same boat. I mean, they get international business, and it's not like people are coming here. You know what I mean? I mean, we have. I think our domestic travel's up, but our international travel coming to the States to destinations like Vegas, and because no conferences have happened in Vegas,
right?
We've had conferences canceled in Vegas. I mean, Vegas tons of money.
Oh yeah.
I mean, just from the conferences alone, like people think Vegas, like, oh, you go there and gamble, have fun, blah blah. It's like, no, that's one of the biggest hubs for international conferences is Las Vegas.
Yeah, it is like the conference hub of the world.
And the reason is the weather's very consistent year round. It does get a little cold, but it hardly ever rains. There's a lot to do there, and Vegas will attract, like, if you're trying to pull off a conference, there's a lot to do in Vegas. People make a vacation out of it.
Yeah.
So it really does make the perfect spot for a venue for events.
Yeah,
and
they have, very, very large convention centers.
Their convention centers are massive. If you haven't been, not that anyone goes and visits a convention center, but you can see it almost from the Strip. It is huge. You can't even imagine how big these buildings are.
Yeah.
And I wonder, we always joke around with them. We were touring it with some of the local government officials that run the convention center.
Yeah.
And we were like, how much is the air conditioning bill? And it was astonishing.
Oh, I bet.
It was like millions,
in July.
millions and millions and millions of dollars. I mean, it's just mind-boggling because it's so hot in July.
Right.
And you have to cool such a massive amount of square footage.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and, they built the new football stadium there.
They did, I know. And so Vegas did that, and LA has a new stadium too, and still no one's gone.
Yeah.
Now, the Vegas one, I don't know if they're going to the home games there. Maybe. I know in LA they haven't allowed anybody in.
Yeah.
And LA spent $7 billion.
That's crazy.
Everyone thought Jerry's World down in Dallas, which was the AT&T stadium that he built, and it was the first stadium that surpassed $1 billion. It cost $1.5 billion. Everyone's going, I was like, oh, it's Jerry's $1 billion world, like this thing. And it was. I mean, it still is. It's a beautiful, innovative facility.
Right.
Then I look at LA, and I'm like, $7 billion?
That's crazy.
Holy smokes.
Well,
and then no one's been yet?
Yeah. Well, when the conventions do start back in Vegas, that'll be cool too to have the football stadium there, during football season, and that will be good. A little sense of normalcy.
Yeah, and I really feel like every pandemic we've had in the history, humans are still moving forward today, and we're going to get through this, and there will be a day, hopefully soon, where everyone's not wearing masks. We've gotten through it. Everyone can hug each other. We're back to normal life. People can shake hands again.
Yes.
Go to dinner and be close with people, because that's what we love to do. People it's that no matter how virtual and digital our world gets, I still think that human-to-human interaction you'll never be able to replace.
I absolutely agree.
Yeah. And I hope you can enjoy it in a destination booked by Penyak Travel.
There we go.
And you can go cheers all your friends with margaritas and some of the most beautiful places in the world.
Yeah, and if you want any more information on anything that you've heard today, please feel free to give us a call, 1-800-674-3278, or you can go to our website, penyaktravel.com, request a quote, and it comes directly to my email, or feel free to slide into our DMs on Instagram or Facebook.
Question of the day at Penyak Travel, by the way.
Yes, at Penyak Travel. What is the question of the day?
So I saw this on the internet. This is I think it's like an internet debate going on. I want to get your opinion on it.
Okay.
So cheesecake.
Okay.
Is cheesecake a cake or a pie? Now think about the cake. It has a crust at the bottom. Think about how cheesecake is. Is that a cake or a pie?
I don't know.
What category?
I guess it would be. It could be both, really. I mean, I guess it.
Oh, come on, you can't.
Okay, it's cake.
You're gonna go with cake.
I'm gonna go with cake.
See, it's called cheesecake, but it looks like it's baked, right? It has the crust on it. It's like a pie.
I have no idea how you make a cheesecake.
Do you make it cold? I don't think so. I'm the worst. I don't know.
I know people are probably like, wow, these people are clueless when it comes to baking.
We're really good at travel. I'm not the best cook.
We're not bakers or cooks or anything.
And I actually took
no idea.
I actually took a lot of hours of culinary classes in college. People don't know that, or people would never believe that. But I'm technically somewhat of a trained. Yeah.
99% of my meals are not like cooked on a stove.
No, we eat healthy. Like we do like a lot of chicken and vegetables and fruit, but we like to microwave things.
Yeah,
quick.
Like
we're busy. We're busy.
Just quick, pre-made.
I don't have time to whip out the pots and pans and then it's not about.
Yeah, we don't bake.
It's not about cooking. It's about like the cleanup afterwards. Like stuff takes time.
Yeah. So are you saying it's a pie?
I'm gonna go with pie.
Okay.
It's hard to not call it a cake because cake's in its name. It's like, oh, it's cheesecake, but if you have the cheesecake with the crust at the bottom, that's a pie.
Yeah.
I think if you have it without the crust at the bottom, it's a cake.
Okay. Well, that's that. So trip of the week?
Trip of the week. Yes. What is your trip of the week?
I was going to say, I think this debate's done.
All right, moving on from the senseless cake and pie debate.
So, trip of the week. I have a couple. They are 2 police officers that just got married last weekend.
Love it.
They are honeymooning at our favorite all-inclusive resort, Sandals Grenada.
Oh, my gosh. I'm super jealous.
Yes, I know.
That is for that to be your honeymoon, that is the spot.
Yes.
What kind of room did they get? Do you remember?
Pink Gin Ocean View room.
I love it.
Yes.
We had that room. Was that the same room we had?
No.
Category?
No.
We had it there.
We had a Pink Gin room, but it wasn't that one.
We stayed there the first time. I thought we had an Ocean View.
Yeah, we did.
It wasn't Pink Gin? Gotcha. Okay.
Yes.
Very cool.
No, it was in Pink Gin. It was just a different room.
Well, not the same exact number, but the same maybe category.
No, it wasn't.
Okay, I'm the host.
Yeah, I was going to say, nope.
I am the host that does not know the most.
Yeah, that was the Pink Gin Oceanfront Club level room is what we stayed in.
Duh.
yeah.
Duh,
Oh, I look
George.
at this stuff every day, so.
I need some more coffee. Anyways, that's a show, guys.
Yes, that's the show. Thank you for listening. And again, if you need any more information on any of this, feel free to reach out.
Travel's coming back, and we've been busy, and we would love to talk to you. Again, agents that want to switch, hit us up.
There we
talk
go.
to you. And if you're looking for a trip, we would love to help you. Again, the request a quote button on penyaktravel.com. It's right on our homepage. It goes right to Janet.
Yes.
All right. Love you guys so much. We will see you next time. Have a great week. Stay
see you
safe.
next time.
And we'll see you next time.